1 Peter 2 and 9, and talking about the church as a society. And I've left your papers right there on the seats. As always, any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and holler them out. But the first verse, 1 Peter 2 and 9, starts off as, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Okay, keeping in mind the church as a society is the lesson title today. Okay, so the church as a society suggests that the church is a distinct and separate institution. The church is a different entity from every other group or club in the world. There is none like the church. It is the ecclesia of God, chosen especially by God to show his will and purpose to all people under the sun. This institution is so unique until the angels desire to look into it. So God created something, the church, and we know that the church is, as we go back to 1 Peter 2 and 9, it's not just one person. The church is a holy nation, and we know that a nation is not just a handful of people, but it is thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. Sometimes when we're, traveling different places, you'll see some of these small cities, and they might have 100 or 200 or 700 people in them. This is not what God is talking about. God is in himself raising up, and he has raised up a nation, and he started a long time ago with Abraham, with Isaac, with Jacob, all of the greats that we talk about. He used Moses and the whole nation, the children of Israel. Even the name children doesn't really do them justice, because it makes it seem like sometimes it's just maybe 10 to 20 people wandering around the wilderness. But the children of Israel was an entire nation of people. And this is what God he commanded this. And so God is saying, I haven't chosen just one person to fulfill my mission or carry out what it is that I need, or to praise and worship me and have really honestly and truly to have a relationship with. I've chosen, as the Bible talks about, whosoever will, a peculiar. And peculiar could mean strange. And that's what we show up as in the world. We show up as strange. Well, why do you dress like that? Why do you talk like that? Well, I would wear what you wear. Yeah, but you kind of wear that all the time. It's just the way that you act. And a lot of times people, when you really press them about it, they just stop and say, well, it's just something different about you. I don't know what it is. And they think about it and they think about it, and it might take them weeks. It might take them months to say, I understand what it is now about you. Do you go to church? Are you one of those Christian people, or one of those Pentecostals, or one of those apostolics? That's what it is about you. And then they might even grown up in the church, and then they start thinking about, oh, well, maybe I should get in the church. And you haven't even said anything. But it's just the way that you live. It's the way that you move. It's the way that you act. And the Bible, like I said, calls us to do that very same thing, to be distinct and separate, not to mix and mingle. And this is something that we've kind of been talking about in Bible study, as the culture is seeping into the church and the church is kind of going to the wayside. We're no longer distinct or separate, right? So the Bible is calling us as a church body, one people, to be a different entity from every other group, to have our own branding, our own way of doing things that makes any sense. Chosen especially by God to show his will and purpose to all people under the sun. All right? And it goes on to say in 1 Peter 1:10-2, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you, searching what manner of time the Spirit of Christ, which was in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Christ and the glory that should follow, which things the angels desire to look into. So the angels, we already know the angels have their job. We already know the angels are heavenly, they're holy, they're clean, they're pure. And the angels are fierce. The angels are passionate about doing their job. The angels understand a lot of things, but the angels are messengers of God. They're servants of God. We are servants of God too, but we have a different mission. God has called us to a different mission, whereas the angels, we're just here specifically to be messengers and mouthpieces of God, and then to serve God in a capacity. But then the angels are looking at us and saying, well, why are they doing that? How are they doing that? And that's what Lucifer is also doing, as he was an angel once too. Why are they doing that? What is it about them? Why do you continue to save them? Why do you continue to redeem them? Right? A lot of people don't understand. Even even heavenly hosts don't understand what it is that we do, who we are. Right? So it's saying that, and it goes even to say, even the prophets, they're still looking into it. They're still trying to understand it. Why is this like this? The Bible talks about us seeing through a glass dimly or darkly. There's still some things that we don't understand, but that's the beauty of the church. And we go back up to the top when the Bible talks about us being a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, right? A lot of things we don't understand. And even in a royal priesthood, if you look at a lot of these shows, there was a show on Netflix called The Crown, and it's about Queen Elizabeth, who has passed away now, and her father passed away and she took over, and there's a lot of stuff that she had to learn in order to become what they call, this is the queen that we want to see. This is the queen that we would like over our country. There's a lot of things that she had to learn. There's a lot of things that the family had to learn. There's a lot of things that they had to set by the wayside and give up, because people look at you a certain way. And that's what people don't understand. Well, I don't understand why I have to do this. Why do I have to give this up? Why do I have to go here? Why do we have to appear over here? Why do we have to say this? Oh, I said this. I shouldn't have said it. Why not? I'm just a regular person. Yeah, you are a regular person, but to them, you're a little bit more than that. You're distinct. You're separate. You're set apart. Like I said, it's in the way that you dress. It's in the way that you talk. I'm talking about man or woman. It's what you wear or what you don't wear. It's what you watch or you don't watch. Even the stuff in your house, even the cars that you drive, all of that goes into who you are as a person. They might see, there's a old pastor, he's gone on to be with the Lord, Brother Chevalier, Pastor Chevalier. He used to live in such a way that you knew he was anointed. You knew he was called by God. And his bills were getting paid, and the bank said, man, we don't know how you're paying your bills, but we're going to go ahead and give you a loan for your house. We don't know how you're doing all this stuff, but we're going to go ahead and give you this stuff. People look at that and say, how is he making it? And all he has to say is by the grace of God. God is doing this for me. I'm not my own. William McDowell has a song said, I give my life away. My life is not my own. To you I belong. That's what God is calling us to do, to give ourselves away. And when we give ourselves, we say, I'm giving myself wholly to the mission. I want to become that distinct and separate entity. We're separating ourselves from the world and saying, there's another mission where everybody is following this newscast or this podcast, or they eat this or they go over here and do this. I'm separating myself. And I'm going to do something different. You read about Daniel in the Bible when he did a Daniel fast. I'm